Wonderful guest, political analyst Otis Sanford. We have Catherine Burgess from MLK 50, and then we have Tawan Stout Mitchell, who's a former city councilwoman. Thank you guys so much for being here. All right, so let's dive into that first segment. We have Senator Brent Taylor's bill that's similar to Representative Mark White's bill about the state takeover of MSCS, but this one's giving a little bit more power into the county commission. So it would allow superintendents to be fired. It passed again in the Senate Education Committee 8-1, allows superintendents to be fired, and then elected school board members can be replaced by local county commission appointees, and then that would have to be approved by the state if they wanted to replace them. And then Shelby County Commission, just a few hours before that bill passed a resolution to appoint an advisory board to the district. And the commissioners were a bit divided on whether they wanted to rescind that vote of no confidence in the school board. So again, I said these two kind of situations pair well together, I would say. Otis, you want to take the lead on this one?
Well, sure. And let me just say it on the front end. You said that there was so much news to cover this past week. It was unbelievable.
Yeah.
Mess at Matter, the firing of the Grizzlies coach, measles outbreak here in town.
Brent Taylor also.
There's a whole lot of stuff going on. You can't even get to it. Brent Taylor has never met an issue he didn't want to get out in front of, and he's doing the same thing here. I think he should have coordinated a little bit better with Mark White so that they would have bills that were even more connected than what they are now, because if both these pieces of legislation passes, they're going to have to try to work out the differences anyway. And I just think that we are still at the point where we're taking the decision out of the voters' hands. And that's been my beef all along. The voters, whether you like the school board or not, and I know a lot of people don't, because they have some incompetencies that they have to deal with, the voters still elected them. And what's going on here, whether it's Representative White's bill or Senator Taylor's bill, is still taking the decision away from voters, and I have a problem with that.
And as a former city councilwoman, you know local control is important, obviously. Taylor's bill putting it back on the commissioners to make more decisions. How do you think that goes?
Well, and also as a former school board member and chairman of the board, to be honest with you, we have 3 plans on the table. And I'm not fond of any of them. I'm not a cheerleader for any of them. But I will say that Brent's bill does try to hear from elected voices of this community. And that is so important, especially when public trust has been eroded. And let's be honest, the Board of Education has a lot to do in rebuilding public trust.
Of course.
And I would suggest that they take a look at the Council of Great City Schools analysis of where we are as a school board and what needs to be done, and develop their own plan. They need a plan of action. They don't have one. And that's why everybody feels entitled to have a plan for them.
And Catherine, before I get your input, I do want to look at some of the reaction from Commissioner Caswell, and then I'd compare it to school board member Tawana Murphy and what they had to say about this whole proposal.
I think it's sad. I wish it would have been rescinded. I would say historically, I have never known a body to vote against another body confidence in this county. And so I believe that it no doubt had an impact, that the state used that as some of the bait.
It looks like a bunch of babysitters because we wouldn't do what they wanted us to do. We wouldn't bow down and follow their rules and regulations. We don't have to follow their rules and regulations because we are elected officials.
So, Catherine, we know the vote of no confidence just was an explosive decision by the county commission. How do you think that's played into the state here?
Well, it's clearly been used by the state as one of them, as a reason for why they are pushing this legislation. I don't know that necessarily walking it back would have done anything at all, because if the state wants to do something, they're probably going to do it, and they're going to come up with reasons for it, whether that be this vote of no confidence or something else. I do think the babysitting comment is interesting because the county commission does, to a certain extent, hold the purse strings for the school system. So there is a relationship there that is intrinsically tied together. So they do have some, perhaps not that much, but some say over what the school board does.
And Commissioner Mick Wright was very vocal on Facebook, if we can pull up his quick post about that vote of no confidence. And he did make a point to say that this was a warning to the school board back when they were making the decision to terminate Dr. Fagans. I'm not sure that, and then warning on, or going on to say that something like this with the intervention with the state would be the result from everything that went on with Dr. Fagans. So, and still called out quite a few, I'm not sure if you guys had a chance to look at it, calling out quite a few board members without really saying their names. Otis, I feel like it's just creating a little bit more mess between the two.
Absolutely it was. I thought that Mick Wright, while he may have some points that he wants to make, I thought he was a little too mean in all of that. We've had enough vitriol already. And if you go back to that meeting in December, and everything since then has been contentious and fighting. And what we need from our elected officials is a little bit more civility. And he did not bring it with this. But I still say that even though the school board, you're right, Dwan, they have a lot of work to do to get back some credibility. They have lost it completely. We just don't, I'm not a fan of either one of these proposals either. And I just don't know where things are going to wind up.
So where do you see it going from here?
Well, I'm going to jump back a little bit to what Otis just said about Mickey Wright's letter and others. Real leaders in a time of crisis don't choose chaos. They choose community and building consensus. And nothing in that post would build a consensus.
Right.
And that's what we need.
Right.
Okay, I think that's a mic drop moment right there. So, all right, we'll end it on that one. Thank you.